Imagine a world transformed by the thunder of hooves, where the fate of continents shifted at the will of a single family, a single vision. In this world, the Mongols, a people once scattered across the unforgiving steppes, rose to carve out the largest continuous land empire the world has ever known. But their story is not merely one of conquest. It is a saga of ambition, innovation, and enduring influence, an epic that continues to ripple through the centuries. In the early 13th century, the steppes of Central Asia were a patchwork of tribes, each fiercely independent, bound by tradition and blood feuds. Life was harsh, defined by survival, and the land yielded little. Yet from these vast, empty plains, a new force emerged, swift, organized, and relentless. To outsiders, these people were little more than nomads, skilled with horses and bows, but lacking the trappings of civilization. Yet under the unifying leadership of one extraordinary man, they would become the architects of an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. This man was Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin, he endured hardship and betrayal, forged alliances, and conquered rivals not just through force, but through shrewd diplomacy and iron discipline. Where other leaders divided power among family and friends, Genghis Khan built a new order, a meritocracy, where loyalty and skill were rewarded above all else. He united the Mongol tribes, transforming their age-old squabbles into a single, focused drive for expansion. The Mongol war machine was a marvel of its time. It wasn't simply the size of their armies or the brutality of their attacks that made them formidable. It was the way they fought, a blend of mobility, psychological warfare, and strategic brilliance. Their cavalry could move faster and farther than any army before them, thanks to a sophisticated relay network of horses and messengers. Each warrior traveled with multiple mounts, allowing them to cover immense distances without exhausting their steeds. This mobility made the Mongols unpredictable, able to strike where least expected. Their tactics were revolutionary. The famed feigned retreat, for example, was a masterstroke of battlefield deception. Mongol horsemen would appear to break ranks and flee, luring enemy forces into pursuit. Once the enemy was overextended and disorganized, the Mongols would turn and envelop them, turning apparent chaos into devastating victory. Their composite bows, crafted from horn, wood, and sinew, had unmatched power and range, allowing them to strike from a distance with deadly precision. Yet, as historian Dr. Anya Sharma explains, the Mongols' true genius lay beyond their martial prowess. What the Mongols mastered was not just battlefield tactics, but the logistics of conquest. They could move vast armies across enormous distances at an astonishing speed, sustaining them through a network of horse stations and a culture of resourcefulness. They weren't just fighting, they were innovating. Mark Chen, a military strategist, highlights another crucial element: intelligence. Their intelligence network was also a key factor. They understood their enemies better than anyone else. They exploited internal conflicts, used propaganda to sow fear, and always seemed to be one step ahead. It was as much a war of minds as it was a war of swords. But the legacy of the Mongol Empire is more than a record of battles won and lands conquered. Perhaps the most surprising chapter is the period known as the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace. Once their dominion was established, the Mongols imposed order and stability on a vast swath of the world. They protected trade routes, allowing merchants, scholars, and travelers to move safely from China to the Mediterranean. The legendary Silk Road flourished under their watch, facilitating not just the exchange of goods, but ideas, technologies, and cultures. It is a striking paradox. The same people who raised cities and toppled kingdoms also fostered a golden age of connectivity. Through their vast postal system, the yam, messages and goods could travel at unprecedented speeds. The Mongol tolerance for different religions and cultures encouraged a flow of knowledge that helped spark advances in science, medicine, and the arts. The world became smaller, more interconnected, and richer in possibility. Yet, for all their openness, the Mongols also kept secrets. One of the most enigmatic symbols of their power was Xanadu, the summer capital built by Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson. Xanadu was more than a city, it was a vision of a new world, blending Mongol traditions with Chinese grandeur and Persian artistry. Here, the rulers of the empire received envoys from distant lands, plotted their next campaigns, and governed a realm that spanned half the known world. What secrets did Xanadu hold? Archaeological discoveries suggest a city unlike any other, with palaces, gardens, and an intricate system of canals. It was a place where East met West, and where the ambitions of the great Khan found their fullest expression. Though Xanadu eventually fell into ruin, its legend endures, a symbol of the Mongols' ability not just to conquer, but to create. As the centuries passed, the Mongol Empire fractured, as all great empires do, yet their legacy was indelible. They redrew the map of the world, influenced the rise and fall of nations, and left behind innovations in governance, military organization, and global trade. Even today, echoes of their story can be found in the languages we speak, the goods we trade, and the very idea of a connected world. The rise of the Mongols is a testament to the power of vision, discipline, and adaptability. From the windswept steppes, they launched a movement that changed history, not just through conquest, but through the creation of a world where boundaries could be crossed and possibilities expanded. Their story invites us to ponder the forces that shape civilizations and reminds us that even the most unlikely beginnings can lead to the most extraordinary destinies.